Welcome to Cafe24. Cafe24 is an online shopping mall solution and has been maintaining its top position in the industry for more than 20 years. We're here to get you started for your online business.
This video will guide you through how to set up your business information and store policies on your store. First, go to Store Settings, General, then to Store Profile. On Store Profile, you can put in business information, company information, customer support, and service inquiry. On Basic Information, you can put in or edit the basic information of your store, such as admin name or domain. On Company Information, you can edit directions to the business office. On Customer Support, you can put in a contact information for your store. For Service Inquiry, you can add service inquiry details to your product detail pages. This will be displayed in the Service Inquiry section on each product's detail page. Now let's set up business policies needed to run an online business. Go to Store Settings, General, then to Terms and Policies. Here you can set up terms of use, store policies, and provision of personal information. First, let's write the terms of use for your store. If you have a customized terms of use already, go ahead and paste it here. If you're new with running an online business, you may not know where to start. In that case, if you press the right button, Use Template, out of the two buttons below, it will lead you to a general terms of use that are used among the majority of online businesses. Note that this template is very basic, and you may need to modify and customize the contents that are aligned with your own business. The terms and conditions will be linked to the Terms and Conditions button on the footer of your page. Let's move on to the privacy policy. There are two ways of writing your privacy policy. First one indicates how you will process your customers' personal information. Second is how you will process their information when passing to a third party. On the second tab of Terms of Use, you will see Privacy Policy. There are 5 policies that can be written. The Privacy Policy full text, which will be shown on the bottom of your store. Sign up required, which is mandatory for customers to agree to when signing up to your store. Then sign up optional, which you can customize additional policies to request from your customers. Guest checkout is for notifying store policies for non-members. Pie collection is to notify collection policies of ID numbers for shipping areas like China and Taiwan. If you want to enable pie collection, go to Store Settings, Orders, Order Policies, then to Order Checkout. Click Yes on the Require ID number for customers in China, Taiwan section. Come back to the pie collection and start writing. Enter the contents and click on Save. Let's go to the ordering step and choose China as the shipping area. You can see that there is now an additional section that enables you to input the ID number. You can also see that it requires agreement for pie collection on the very bottom. Once you click, there is information you put inside the pie collection section. Let's move on to setting policies for providing personal information to third parties. Move to Store Settings, General, Terms and Policies, then to Provision of Personal Information. You can see 2 tabs here: Provision of Personal Information to Third Parties and Consignment of Personal Information Processing. On the first tab, you can either enable or disable the display of this policy. Once you enable the section, customers are asked to agree to this policy on the sign-up page. Usually, you input who the third party is, which information is being provided, purpose of provision, usage period, and etc. Whether or not the customer agrees to this, it will not affect their sign-up process. But once they disagree, it will affect the amount of services they will be receiving from your store. The second tab is also optional for display inside your store. Once you enable, this will also be displayed on the sign-up page for your store. Be cautious when writing this section since the consignment of personal information may cause various legal issues. For this section as well, whether or not the customer agrees to this will not affect their sign-up process, but if they disagree, once again, it will affect the amount of services they will be receiving from your store. How are we doing so far? Have you completed setting up your own store policies? Tag along to finish setting up your store.